Hey guys, about to do some presets. You'll learn how to do some presets and then do some troubleshooting as well. So what we're going to do is, first thing we're going to do is I'd like to review with you a little bit on the grouping. One thing I did when we were in the other video is I made all the par lights one big group, but we have a drum light and I don't want it to be in that group. So the way to fix that, to remove that drum light from the group, is we'll select the group that we want to edit, and then we'll deselect the fixture that, or the group of fixtures, or the group of one fixture that we want to remove. So we can click on here to deselect it. You see it deselects that one, and then we record. We open our programming keyboard here, and then we hit record, and then we click on the original one that we clicked on before, and we're going to go ahead and replace. So now the drum light's not in there anymore. So another way to do this, the way they show you officially, I'm going to go ahead and fix it. Okay, so now we're back to where we were. You can select the par lights, and then if you know what fixture you want to remove, the drum light, if you click on this, see the drum light is fixture 20. So you click on it, and then you hit minus, which says deselect 20, enter. It removes the drum light. You can record over and replace. It replaces everything with just what you did. It doesn't add anything in, it just replaces it. Okay, so now the drum light's no longer in that group. I'm also going to make this a little smaller. It makes it a little more easier to see everything. So let's get on to intensities. So let's select intensity presets. So let's go to our 2D plan, zoom all the way out, and pan around where we need to pan. And let's go ahead and select the fixtures we want to work with. So I'm going to click these guys, the color bands. I'm going to select the movers. I'm also going to select the drum light and the pars. I got to add the par group in there, as well as the house lights. And then we'll also add in the other mover lights that are up top. So we got everything. Okay, so now that we have everything we think we need, everything that's currently on the stage, we're going to go ahead and record some presets. So we open our programming keyboard, and we'll make our first preset. I'm going to open up the parameters here so I can see what I can do. I'm doing this to show you what's happening. So I'm going to hit @0, enter, and it turns this red. It also turns this area red too, and showing you that that's actively has been edited in the intensity area. So we hit record, and we click on the intensity bank area that we want, 0%, enter. And we can say at 10%, changes this to 10%, record, say 10%. Now I'm going to go ahead and use this wheel here. So go up to 25%. There's two ways to do it. And I'm going to hit the center button here, brings it to 50%, record 50%. Now before we go too long, we actually want to record all of the fixtures we have, not just the ones on the stage. So if we look at this, if we look at these guys, we actually see that we hadn't put our color try out there or our elation color bar. They hadn't been edited. So we're going to go ahead and add those in. So I'm going to go ahead and click here, and you see when you click it and you hadn't made a preset, it turns the color to like a white gray. So what we're going to do, we know that's not going to work. So we're going to go ahead and say @0, enter. We're going to record it on top, and we're going to go ahead and merge the data. We're not going to replace it this time. We're going to merge it. At 10%, record, and then click out and merge. Now we're going to go ahead and do it this other way. 25%, bring the wheel up, record, merge current data. And then center to 50%, merge current data. Now we're going to go ahead and select all the lights again. You can do from the 2D plan. All right, not the lasers or the hazer, just the lights. And also I'm going to select my color tri and my elation color bar as well. Even though they're not on the stage, it'd be nice to have them in case we install them later, right? So we're going to say at 75, record 75. And then at 100%, bring that all the way up to out, record 100%. Okay, so that's our intensity presets. The next thing we want to do is our color presets. So we have tabs here that go to our different preset areas. So you have our intensity area, our pan tilt area, our color, our gobo wheel area, and our beam area, and also beam effects in frame. We're going to look at our color area now. Now, when we program the color presets, it's going to take a little longer to do this because of the movers. They act in a different way with color. So we're going to look at all of our red, green, and blue LED fixtures. So we're going to go ahead and click on them. We're going to add our color bands. We're going to add our drum light, our par lights, and that's it. We don't need to select our stage lights or our house lights because they don't have color. We don't have to worry about that. So we add these in first. So what we're going to do, we're going to add red in first, green, and then blue. So first, we open up our effect area where we can control the color and all the effects and the intensity. And it by default starts on intensity. We click on color. Then once we're in color, we see that we have red, green, and blue to control, as well as amber for some of the lights. So we go ahead and click on red. Oh, I also want to select the color tri. I'm not going to do the elation color bar because that's not, I need to look at that and possibly reprogram it. So we're not going to mess with that this time. So we have, the color tri included. So now we have red, green, and blue. First, we're going to, so we select color, and we click on the color we want, whether red, green, or blue. We do red first. I say red at 100%. Now we take green, and we bring that to 0. We take blue, we put it to 0. And normally you could do this, and if you recorded it just like this, you would just have the color in the color area, which is great, and a lot of people like to do that. But I also like to include intensity as well. So by default, because it's the color area, the only thing that's going to be recorded into the area by default is color. So intensity will not be included in that. So we're going to actually include that intensity. So we're going to go to our intensity area and change that to center to 50%. Now we're going to click on our programming keyboard and hit record. And this is our filter area. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on intensity and color to tell it that we want intensity to be recorded as well, not just color. So we have these, and I'm going to hit the star button, which makes it default. This is going to make it our default recording selection from this point forward. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this, and when we click on it, we should see IC on the top right corner. That means that intensity is recorded as well as color. IC. So now this is red. Okay? I could have added the movers in after this as well, but we'll go ahead and add the movers in after this time. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go color. We're going to bring the red down, and we're going to green to 100. And we're going to go ahead and record again. Green. And we're going to do it again for blue. Blue. Okay, so I'm just going to do 3 colors for now, but actually I'll do a few more to show you what's everything. Actually, I should have recorded these as 50% values, but it is what it is. So let's go ahead and record cyan. So cyan would be 50% blue and 50% green. So I'll bring this up to 100% and record cyan. So I would do this for all the different colors that I want. So I'd say, okay, I want purple, maybe red and blue together. I could make edits later. So purple, go back to our 2D plan. It might be magenta, I'm not sure. I actually might call that magenta. It's kind of a magenta purple. Maybe a little less red, and that would be purple. Yeah. So we'll call this magenta. And then we're going to bring that blue down to center. No, sorry, red down to center. We'll call this purple. It's hard to see on the 2D diagram, but we'll call that purple. Okay, so you can see you can mix all the colors together to get what you need. We'll also make a yellow. Okay, you get the idea. And then orange. You can get carried away, but you do want to get carried away. Orange. Okay, you get the idea. Okay, so now that we have this stuff, we want to have our mover lights as well to be programmed just like this. So we program each mover brand or different fixtures separately. Intensity will be 50%. Color, they have color wheels. So for red, we'll have to select red, and then we select our other brand. We find the red there, set our intensity to center, color, find red. Do the same thing for these other ones. Center, color, find the red, and we have red. Perfect. Now we go ahead and record them into here. And you can see what you've done if you click on the programmer. You can see that the Intimidator 350s are intensity 50, everything's intensity 50%, and you have all of these, which are different values because they're different fixtures, but they're all red. So we have everything that we need. So we record that, and we merge the data. So now, when we click on red, everything that we programmed will be red. If we select just the color bands and we click on red, the color bands become red. If we're doing a show and we're busking and we want to have stuff come in slowly and not to be distracting, let's say we want to make the color bands red and we want to do it in sort of this busking sort of freestyle way, which is really fun and really great. And actually the best light shows are done this you want to be prepared, you want to have all the cues ready to go, but you want to be able to add more effects while everything's going as you're feeling it. You want to be able to improvise and do your own thing, at the same time and add a little spice to it sometimes. So you wouldn't just click on color bands in red. That could be distracting. But if you hit color bands and you click on your area where all your controls are, you go to hit this rate button and you can control your live speed and bring that up to like 2 or 3 seconds. I'm going to do it maybe 5 seconds and see here where are we at. Okay, so now just to show you, so I click on my color bands and I click on red. They're coming in nice and perfectly, just real slowly so that it's not distracting. Sometimes you want to be distracting. It depends on what you're doing. But this live time speed is just really great for being able to busk on the fly. So even when you hit clear, it slowly goes away. It doesn't just quickly go away, just like that. So we did that for red, and we want to do that for all the other ones as well. So click on this guy. We're going to take that live away. It's not important. So now we're going to do center out on intensity, color, green. Going to do that for the other ones. And I'm going to do it for the Intimidator 155s. That's a moss green. Here's normal green. Okay. So now we have those. Record on top of it. You can do this all at once, but adding later is a perfectly acceptable way of doing it too. Change it to blue. Plan. So you have to do them separately here. Change this to blue, light blue, dark blue. We'll do dark blue. Change it to dark blue, and then the light blue we'll put in the cyan area. But you get the idea. Record that into the blue, merge, and now we have red, green, and blue presets for everything. We still have to work on yellow, orange, cyan, magenta, and purple, but you get the basic gist of everything. So I'm going to go ahead and move them slightly in a separate area so that we know that we've only worked on these guys for everything. That's color presets. So now you should be able to add color with intensity or what have you. Now pan tilt presets, let's go over that fast so we can just kind of nail it down. You can't, even if you're not there at the place, pan tilt presets is what you would use in your imagination to say, okay, let's say there's 4 singers. You have singer 1, singer 2, singer 3, singer 4. Let's say you want to have spotlights. Ideally, you'd want to have a spotlight setting for each singer on there. So what you would do, let's say we're going to do spotlights for using these 4 movers. We want all of them to be singer 1. They'll all be zoned in on the singer 1 spot. So we don't know where that is, but we can record where, a placeholder for it, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to hit record. I selected them, and they're currently pan tilt right here. I'm going to go ahead and center. So center just means they're going to be straight up or straight down. So if they're hanging on the wall, most likely they would be straight down. If they're on the floor, they would be straight up just by their default position. So I'm going to hit record, and I'm going to just say up/down. I could do that with all the fixtures. That's what I'd want to do, with all the fixtures, not just the ones on the top. Okay. So we don't know where the singers are going to be, but we can estimate where they're going to be. So if I hit this highlight button, any fixture I have selected will turn on. In the physical world, it'll turn on. So it shows us what we have selected in the real world, but also it can help us in our 2D diagram. So if I move this forward, I can say, okay, I know it's going to be tilted towards the singers. I don't exactly know what pan will be, but they will be toward the singers. So that's step 1. Kind of get a rough estimate of where you think it will be. And then if you see here, if I pan this back and forth, left and right, that's wonderful. They all go left or right. But maybe I don't want that to happen. Maybe I want these on the right to go in and these to go in as I go up and down. It makes effects a little easier if you have some symmetry to them. So what we're going to do is we're going to go open our patch, and we're going to find our Intimidator 155s. This is what we have selected. Now if we hit, there's an invert area here. So you click on 3 and 4. I'm going to go ahead and invert the pan and invert the pan on this one too. Now, as I do my pan tilt, can't really see it very well. Do you see how, if I had my M-Touch with me, you'd see. You see how when you go down, there's some symmetry there, right? So it looks really great. So you want to do that before you do the presets. But I like that. Okay, so let's just pretend that that's the angle. That's where singer 1 will be somewhere around here. We'll make the edit later when we're actually there. And we're going to record this into singer 1. Let's say singer 1. Oops. Singer 1 for singer, like that. And then we'll do singer 2. Oh, but I kind of got into a trap here. when I hit record, I still have this intensity and color selected. So I hit this reset button, all right? I'm going to record it again, or I could record on top. That would be fine too. Singer 1, 4 singer. When 4 singers are up there, that's singer 1 position. Now you can see that it's not grayed out. And we're going to record singer 2. So now if you want to have a spotlight on one of the singers, you can do that. Oh, so remember I made that my default. It's still stuck it to it. So let's go ahead and hit the reset button, check that box again, and record over that this time. Okay, good. And we'll make the edit once we get at the actual place. So you probably would do this for 4 singers and then one for 3 singers. That way you have complete control over what singer you're highlighting at that very moment. Okay, right? Oh, singer 4. Okay, now there we go. So now every time, so I don't have them selected anymore. So the highlight button's still going. So there's, as soon as I select them, you'll see that they turns on, but it's going up or straight down. So you won't see that it's going in a direction. Now I click on singer 1. You see that moves to singer 1. I'll bring my live times down a little bit, or up a bit, so you can see it move when I click the button. Now let's say you click on it and the singer has moved slightly to a different position. Well, you would be tempted to go to pan tilt. Okay, I'm going to move this pan tilt over just a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit. So you would select, let's say, if this one here was off, it was just a little bit off, you would just select that one, and you would want to move your pan tilt, your pan over a little bit, or your tilt. But the problem is it's gonna be very distracting. It could be distracting for people. You'll probably overshoot. It'll look really botchy. So what we want to do is we're in our pan tilt area, and we want to click on this little icon here. And you see this resolution here. It's not dynamic now, but normally it's always been dynamic for me and it's just like really fast. You'd want to change it from dynamic to like 12, and then you have more fine-tuned control over it by changing that resolution to a different resolution. Dynamic is great for when you're setting everything up, but you want to switch it to 10 or 12 or something like that when you're making fine-tuned corrections, especially while they're singing or whatnot. Okay. All right, guys. So that's the pan tilt presets. Got the color presets, intensity presets, gobo presets. They're very useful. Say we have our mover 350s. If you go to your gobos, you have a lot of different gobos. And so, like, say that looks like a rose, right? Say click on that and say like rose. Bam. That way, when you're working, you could click on the movers and you could have all of them on that preset. So everything would be looking like a rose. You click it and it would change it to a rose. So I hope that's helpful. I'm looking forward in the next videos to be showing how to customize the screen and everything like that, to do some more troubleshooting in those areas. So thanks, guys.